Okay, so we start the movie and the title comes up and it's got a creepy pumpkin and creepy music. That is awesome. Then we find out it's Halloween night, 1963, and it's a POV shot of a house. And whoever this is, they're perving on some bitch with big, huge titties. And some dude who can't act for shit. Wait, what am I saying? They both can't act. So Big Tits and Little Dick go upstairs for some good old-fashioned hardcore anal sex action. Bow chicka wow wow. Well, not really. So our pervert friend who's been watching goes into the house, he goes into the kitchen, opens the drawer and pulls out a kitchen knife. And as he makes his way to the stairs, Little Dick comes down. Fucking hell, that must have been the quickest sex scene in the history of ever. Not only in real life, but in film. Well fucking done, mate, you couldn't get it up. Okay, so with Little Dick gone, point of view person goes upstairs and there's a clown mask on the floor, so they pick it up and put it on. So he goes in the room and there's Big Tits. Look at her, man, they're like fucking watermelons. And then he starts stabbing her. Fucking Copperfield while you're at it, mate. Do it. So then she's all like, oh, I'm dead. And then he runs downstairs, gets out of the house, and there's two adults there, and they take the mask off, and he's fucking 6 years old. And now it's October 30th, 1978, so it's 15 years later. And we see a car driving, there's a stupid bitch behind the wheel, and she's all like, lung cancer. And there's Donald Pleasance, and I love this guy, he is awesome. They're heading to Smith's Grove Sanatorium to pick up someone, and when they get there, there's all the fucking mental patients hanging out outside in the rain. And Dr. Loomis is like, what the fuck is this shit? So he gets out to find out what the hell's going on. And meanwhile, while she's all like, Humpty Dumpty come, someone jumps on the back of the car onto the top of it. And then she's all like, oh, I wonder what that noise is. So she undoes the window and then he's grabbing her face. And then she freaks out. I don't know why though, this is probably the first guy in the history of ever shown any interest into her. But anyway, she hits the accelerator and the car crashes. And then she backs up against the door and he smashes the glass. Totally not holding a wrench or anything. So she runs out in a hysterical sissy fit and he climbs in and drives away. How the fuck does he know how to drive a car? But anyway, then Dr. Loomis comes along and he's like, it's gone from here, the evil is gone. So then we cut to a town called Haddonfield, and it's the next day, so it's Halloween. And someone comes out of the house, and it's Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and I fucking hate this bitch, with a passion. So Jamie Lee's shitbag is on her way to school, and she runs into Tommy Doyle, a little kid she's going to be babysitting later tonight. But before they go to school, she's got to drop off a key at the old Myers place, because her old man sells houses. Yeah, it's the same house where the little boy killed his sister 15 years ago. So as she puts the key onto the map, boom! Oh, somebody's watching her and he's like, you damn kids, get off my property! Back at Smith's Grove, Dr. Loomis is talking with Dr. Quinn and they're pretty much blaming each other. This is all your fault.
No, it's not. I told you how dangerous it was.
Well, it's your fault anyway, Loomis. You're a fucking idiot. You should have been more precautious and told people.
I told everyone!
So Loomis gets into the Loomis-mobile to go and hunt down Michael Myers. Laurie's sitting in class and then she looks out the window and there's Michael Myers watching her. She turns away, looks back and he's like, I see. But then when she looks back for the final time, he's gone. School's out for Tommy and he's being picked on by some of the bullies and they trip him up and he falls on his pumpkin. Aww. And then as they run off, Michael grabs one of them. He's like, hey kid, do you want to come with a ride with me in my car? I've got candy. But then the kid runs off. And then Michael starts following Tommy. Is he a paedophile? I guess we'll never know. Meanwhile, Loomis has stopped by a payphone and he's phoned up the Haddonfield police. He's all like,
he's on his way. If you don't do anything about it, it's your funeral.
And then as he puts the phone down, he finds an abandoned truck, and then he's like, oh dear, and he runs off, and then there's this dead body in the bushes that Michael's probably had his way with. School's out for Laurie, and she's walking home with two of her friends, and they're talking about whatever the fuck it was that chicks back in the 70s used to talk about, but I don't know, I wasn't born in the 70s, and I'm not a chick, so fuck 'em. So Laurie and Annie say goodbye to Linda, and then Laurie looks forward, and she sees someone behind a bush, and he's like, stay off my grass! And then he takes cover behind the bush. Then Laurie tells Annie that there's someone behind a bush, and then when Annie goes and looks, oh look, there's nobody there. So then Laurie gets home, she looks out the window, and there's Michael in the garden beating one off behind the fucking sheet. He's all like, big finish. We cut to the cemetery where Dr. Loomis is there with the groundkeeper, and they're going to go check on Judith Myers' grave. And when they get there, the tombstone's missing. I'm surprised Michael didn't fucking dig up the body, because the way he's been acting, necrophilia and incest is not out of the question. Now we got some pretty fucking boring scene with Laurie and Annie in a car, and then they come along Annie's father, who just happens to be the sheriff. They exchange some words, they fuck off, and then Dr. Loomis arrives to have a little chit-chat with the sheriff. And the sheriff's like, motherfucker, just give me 5 minutes, I've got to go do something. And then behind Loomis drives Michael and he's all like, you suck! Okay, now it's night time and Laurie's arrived at the Doyle house to look after Tommy and his parents split, but unknown to Laurie, she's being watched by Michael. And I don't know why he's doing it. If he's checking out her ass, what the fuck? She does not have an ass. It's Jamie fucking Lee Curtis. Now, Dr. Loomis and the sheriff arrive at the old Myers house. This is probably the best scene in the whole film. They go in and they find a dead animal that Michael's eaten. He's been all like, om nom nom nom. And Loomis gives us the best line.
Man wouldn't do that. This isn't a man.
So then Loomis and the sheriff go upstairs and we're rewarded with a nice, cheap scare. Yeah, the gutter comes through the window and Loomis poops himself. And then he tells the sheriff of happier days in the hospital with Michael. He misses those days, you know it. Meanwhile, the phone goes off, Laurie picks it up, and it's Annie, and she's looking after some stupid little bitch called Lindsay. So while they're talking, Lindsay's dog goes fucking apeshit. It starts barking, and it's barking at Michael. So then the dog goes outside and starts barking at Michael, but that's a pretty bad move because Michael doesn't take shit from anyone, even if you're a dog, so he kills it. Tommy then looks out the window and he sees Michael out there, and Michael's like, I'm gonna kill you, kid! So he gets Laurie to go and have a look, and then when she goes, he's gone. So she goes and tells him to watch TV. That's fucking brilliant, isn't it? TV solves all the problems of the world. And being that the stupid bitch that she is, Annie ends up spilling hot butter all over herself, so she strips down to her panties and her shirt to go clean her dirty clothes. So I think she goes to the garage, and as she's doing that, Michael's watching her. So she ends up getting locked in, and then she does a failed escape attempt through the window, but before Michael can come in and give her surprise butt sex, Lindsay comes in and saves the day. Annie's desperate for a fuck, so she decides to unload Lindsay onto Laurie's hand so she can go fuck her boyfriend's brains out. What a bitch. So then she goes to the car. Oh shit, she's left her keys in the house. She goes back to the house, picks up the keys, goes back to the car, and then opens the door without putting the keys in. You're a stupid bitch and you deserve to die. And then, holy hell, Michael's in the back. Oh god, thank you, Michael. Thank you for killing this stupid fucking bitch. Meanwhile, Loomis is hanging outside the Myers house, hoping Michael will come back. And then the three kids that were picking on Tommy from earlier in the film come along. So then Loomis decides to be a dick and starts messing with their minds and they run away. And then the sheriff comes along and freaks Loomis out. And the sheriff's all like, I think he got the wrong idea. And Loomis is like, I'm the one carrying this film. I know what I'm doing. And then Linda turns up with her boyfriend, Ugly Bob, and they decide to go into Lindsay's house and fuck in her parents' bedroom. Now that is a dick move, but at least these two are lasting a hell of a lot longer than Big Tits and Little Dick did at the beginning of the film, like 100 times more longer. And because Linda's a total lazy bitch, she sends her boyfriend down to go get her a beer. Has anybody noticed this guy looks like John Denver? Bob hears a noise in the kitchen, and then when he opens the pantry, Michael jumps out and then pins him against the wall and stabs him to it. Michael then goes upstairs wearing a sheet and Bob's glasses and annoys the piss out of Linda. That is brilliant. So in frustration, Linda phones up Laurie, and then as Laurie picks up the phone, Michael strangles Linda with the phone cord. And then Laurie's all like, I'm going to kill you two if this is a joke, and then Michael's just listening on the other end of the phone, probably whacking off to the sound of her voice. And because all people in horror films are stupid bitches, she decides to go over to the house to investigate, and then she goes upstairs and she finds Annie's dead body with Judith Myers' gravestone. And then she bumps into Ugly Bob's body and then Linda's body. Yeah. And then as she's crying, what the fuck am I going to do? Michael comes out from the shadows and stabs her in the arm. She falls over the banister of the staircase, tumbles down the stairs, and then Michael's coming after her. She gets out of the house, she's in the streets going, oh my god, nobody's helping her. But unfortunately, she makes it back to Tommy's house and gets in before Michael can kill her. But then, oh no, she left the fucking window open. Myers is in the house. And then she's begging him to stop, and then he jumps out from behind the couch, tries to stab her, he misses, and she attacks him with a knitting needle, and he's like, that fucking didn't hurt, and then he collapses. She goes upstairs, comforts the kid, she's like, it's alright. Oh no, it's not because Michael's behind her. They run around screaming their fucking heads off, and then Laurie goes and hides in her fucking wardrobe, hoping Michael won't find her, but he does. And as he's breaking the door down, she grabs a wire hanger, undoes it, and stabs him in the face with it. He drops his knife, she picks it up, stabs him again, and then he falls over. So it's all over, and then Laurie goes and tells the kids to go get some help, but it's not over because Michael sits up. He does it in a great way, by the way. He's like, oh, I'm up. Stands up, sneaks up behind her, and then starts to strangle her. Kill that bitch! Meanwhile, Loomis has been walking the streets, and then he sees the kids run out of the house, so he goes in, runs up the stairs, and he sees Michael strangling Laurie. She rips his mask off, we get to see his face, Loomis aims his gun, starts shooting Michael as he puts the mask back on. And then Loomis keeps shooting him until he falls off the ledge and Michael's like, ow, my back! But then when Loomis goes and looks over the balcony, Michael is gone. And then music starts and we hear heavy breathing, and that was pretty much Halloween.